Have you wondered how Adam and Eve really did? The story of creation is known to millions of people, but there are hidden details that are mentioned. What happened after they left the Garden of Eden? What were the last days of the first human beings like? Does the Bible tell us everything? Or are there mysteries that remain buried beneath the veil of time? Today, we are going to delve deeply into this ancient history, unveiling the true legacy of Adam and Eve and discovering how they really met their end. Imagine a scene, the Garden of Eden, a place of incomparable beauty, where everything was perfect. No illness, no death, no suffering. Adam and Eve had everything at their fingertips, but a simple choice forever changed the course of human history. By being expelled from paradise, they not only lost their home, but also the right to eternal life. But was this loss the only price they paid? Many of us learn in childhood about the story of creation and the fall of man. Although the scriptures hide many secrets, most people know that Adam and Eve disobeyed God by eating the forbidden fruit, but for really think about what came after that. What was their life like outside of Eden? How did they deal with the burden of mortality? And most importantly, how they really did. In this video, we explore the story like you've never seen it before. Let's go beyond the common narratives and delve into the implications of the expulsion from Eden, the physical and spiritual changes that Adam and Eve experienced, and what this means for humanity today. Get ready, what are you about to discover? It will completely change the way you see this ancient story. But before we continue this intriguing journey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, we explore the deepest questions, the most hidden mysteries, and the stories that defy our understanding. Open the subscribe button right now, and activate the bell so you don't miss any new videos. The more you get involved, the deeper we can go into these questions that make us question everything we know. Now, returning to the central theme, we know that the expulsion from the Garden of Eden was a crucial turning point in the history of humanity. From that moment on, Adam and Eve faced the world like any of us. They had to work to survive, raise their children and deal with life's difficulties. But unlike us, they were the first. Every choice, every decision they made, shaped the destiny of humanity. The death of Adam and Eve was not simply the end of their physical lives, but rather the beginning of a cycle of mortality that affects us all to this day. Are you curious to know how the story unfolded and what it really means for the modern world? When we talk about Adam and Eve, most people immediately remember the famous story of the fall from paradise. A man, a woman, a snake and a forbidden fruit is all that seems to summarize this narrative. But will we know the true depth of the story? How did all this really happen? And most importantly, why does this story still echo in our lives thousands of years later? Imagine this scenario. A perfect place, where everything was harmonious, where nature flourished and animals lived in peace with human beings. The Garden of Eden was not just a place of physical beauty. She represented the fullness of human existence, the balance between man, woman and God. Adam and Eve, they were created in the image of God, with freedom and dominion over all creation. There was no pain, no suffering, no death. Paradise was literally dreamland. But there was one rule. In the center of Eden, there was a special tree, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And God announced Adam and Eve, telling them that if they eat this fruit, they would certainly die. Now, think about it with me, they hid everything. They had access to every other tree, every fruit, every good that Eden had to offer. But for some reason, this particular tree became the turning point in human history. It was then that the famous snake, one of the most intriguing and controversial characters in the narrative. The serpent was not just an animal. It represented temptation, deception, and, for many, the devil himself. Why did she move away from Eva? And why did Eve, knowing God's warning, listen to the serpent? The serpent questioned the divine order, sowing doubt in Eve's heart. Did God really say that you would die if you ate the fruit? And there began the first internal conflict of humanity. The doubt between obeying God or giving into the desert to know more, to be more. The serpent continues to taunt, you will not die. God knows that the moment you eat this fruit, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. And it was this desire to be like God that changed everything. If looked at the fruit, so that it looked good and pleasant and, driven by curiosity, took the first step on the journey of disobedience. She ate the fruit and then gave it to Adam, who also ate it. At that moment, something profound happened, which eyes were really open, but not the way they expected. Suddenly they realized we were naked. Their innocence was stripped from them, and for the first time in human history, shame was born. Adam and Eve were no longer the same people. What was once a safe haven has now become a place of vulnerability. They broke the only rule given by God, and the consequences would be serious. When God confronted them, Adam's first recurrence was to blame Eve, and Eve, in turn, blamed the serpent. Here we see the beginning of something that we still carry with us to this day. The human tendency to avoid responsibility and work hard for someone to blame for our choices. But God knew big what had happened. God said that he pronounced sentences on each of those involved would die. For the serpent, they didn't die immediately. Was crawling on its belly and being hated by many believed that the death was spiritual. God increased the labor pains and declared that for this would before which was once a symbol of closeness to the divine, has now become inaccessible. Adam and Eve were expelled of paradise, condemned to life in a world full of pain, suffering and, eventually, physical death. The expulsion from the Garden of Eden was not just the end of an era, it was the beginning of a new type of existence. An existence marked by struggle, the fear of death and the need for work the land to survive. And it is one of the most intriguing parts. The tree of life was still there. She represented immortality, what Adam and Eve could have hid, but which was now forever beyond their reach. God placed cherubs and a flaming sword to protect the entrance to Eden, preventing any human being from having access to it again. Tree of life. And thus began humanity's long journey to mortality. For thousands of years, the story has been told and retold, not just as a lesson in obedience, but as a reflection of our own human condition. We all carry within us the desire to know more, to be more. But, like Adam and Eve, we often face the consequences of our choices. Was the forbidden fruit really a necessity? Or could Adam and Eve have lived forever in paradise if they hadn't had to give into temptation? These are questions that continue to echo today. What do you think? Was the death of Adam and Eve just physical? Or did something much bigger and deeper happen at that moment? After the fall, one of the questions that always intrigues humanity is, the Garden of Eden really exists? If it was a physical place, where are you today? Why was it never found? Or is the story of Eden just a myth? An allegory to explain the origin of good and evil in the world. Throughout history, scholars, archaeologists and theologians have destroyed the existence of the Garden of Eden. Some believe it was a real place, located somewhere between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which today make up the Middle East region. Others, however, argue that Eden is symbolic, a representation of lost perfection for humanity when we choose to follow our own paths. Be that as it may, the Garden of Eden carries profound symbolic power. It is the archetype of paradise, the place where humanity was created to live in perfect harmony with God and nature. But what happened after Adam and Eve were expelled from this paradise? The center of this entire narrative is the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But what did this fruit really represent? Most people imagine it was an apple, but the Bible doesn't mention what the fruit was. And, more importantly, why was this specific fruit forbidden? The understanding this classification is in the name of the tree. The knowledge of good and evil suggests that by eating this fruit, Adam and Eve gained the ability to discern morally, to make decisions about what was right and wrong. But were they ready to carry this burden? God knew that this knowledge would bring the responsibility and weight of self-determination, something that, until then, Adam and Eve did not need to face. By eating the fruit, they took control of their own lives, but lost control over the destiny that God had planned for them. That choice changed everything, not only for them, but for all humanity. The snake is one of the most enigmatic characters in history. Many Christian traditions have become directly associated with Satan, the fallen angel who rebelled against God and tried to lead humanity into sin. But this is an interpretation that emerged later. In the biblical text, the serpent is described as the most cunning of all the animals of the field. Regardless of who or what the serpent represents, its role is clear. It was the tempting, the voice that instigated doubt and disobedience in Eve. The serpent knew exactly what to say to awaken human curiosity. And that attempt remains a powerful symbol to this day, the suggestion by the forbidden, the idea that there is something more than what we are allowed to know. When eating the fruit, Adam and Eve committed humanity's first transgression. And the change was immediate. They realized we were naked, but what does that really mean? Nudity here symbolizes vulnerability. Before, they lived in complete confidence, without fear, without shame. But, after the sin, he began to hide, to cover himself. This is a powerful metaphor for the laws of innocence. From that moment on, humanity became aware of its own fragility, its exposure to the world and the consequences of its actions. After disobeying God, Adam and Eve were expelled from the Garden of Eden. God placed cherubs and a flaming sword to prevent them from returning and, above all, from having access to the tree of life, which would give them immortality. Outside of Eden, reality was harsh. For the first time, they faced mortality, pain and hard work. The land, which once produced fruit easily, is now a practical effort. The world became a place full of dangers, where death was evident. The death sentence pronounced by God on Adam and Eve was not carried out immediately, but the physical death became a certainty for is that despite living for centuries, more than that, they experienced spiritual death, something that was not foreseen for them. From the moment they left Eden, this long life was not free from suffering. This awareness of mortality brought suffering and the fear of death, something that humanity would carry forever. With the death of Abel, 930 years, imagine the emotional toll of watching your child kill not, knowing that it was your own disobedience. During this time, they had many sons and daughters. The original sin, as it became known, not only affected Adam and Eve, but all of humanity. Since then, we are all born with a orientation to sin, a natural tendency to disobedience. This idea is central to Christian theology, which asserts that Adam and Eve's sin brought death to us all. The Bible does not go into detail about the exact statistics of Adam and Eve, but we know that both did. Adam, at 930 years old, probably died of old age, which is death was physical, but his greatest loss was spiritual, eternal separation from God. Adam lived a long life of 930 years, but his existence was marked by complaint and the burden of his disobedience. However, the first father of humanity, he carried the weight of having started the cycle of mortality that, to this day, affects us all. Which is death was not just physical. He died spiritually the moment he was separated from God, and this is logical separation in each generation of human beings. After his death, Adam's body returned to the dust, as God had decreed. From the dust you came, and to the dust you will return. And with that, the life of the first man created by God ended. Eve, the mother of all living, lived alongside Adam, whilst experiencing mortality and suffering. As the first wife, she carried the pain of seeing her children in conflict, especially with the tragic death of Abel, murdered by Cain. Yevazlikasi is one of both life and pain. She was the first to give birth and experience the labor pains that got announced to her. And, despite Vichay's disobedience, Vichay's role was fundamental in the continuation of humanity. Thousands of years later, the impact of the fall of Adam and Eve is still present. Their story reminds us that even the smallest choices can have huge consequences. The biblical narrative of the fall serves as an explanation for the suffering descent sin that we see in the world today. Original sin, brought about by Adam and Eve, continues to be a powerful metaphor for how humanity is in a constant struggle between good and evil. The fall is not just an ancient story, but a reflection on the modern human condition. The story of Adam and Eve is not just about the past. It teaches us valuable lessons about choices, temptation and responsibility. Their disobedience brought sin into the world, but it also gives us the understanding that the decisions we make shape our future and the future of everyone around us. It's a reminder that even though we are flawed, we still have the opportunity to learn and reconnect with what is really important. Adam and Eve really did just as God had said. They lived long lives, but this was the result of their transgression. However, Vichay's death also marked the beginning of something great. Humanity's ongoing journey toward redemption and reconciliation with God. Their end was not just the end of their physical lives, but the beginning of a story that is still told and reflected on to this day. And so the legacy of Adam and Eve lives on in each of us. Adam and Eve really did just as God had said. They lived long lives, but this was the direct result of Vichay's transgression in the Garden of Eden. However, their death marked the start of something much bigger. Humanity's journey in search of redemption and reconciliation with God began there, with Vichay's first steps outside paradise. The end of Adam and Eve was not just the end of their physical lives, but the beginning of a story that is still told and reflected on today. They came to life in a world full of hardship, pain and, ultimately, physical death. But what remained, beyond that, was Vichay's legacy. A legacy that, in a way, lives on inside each of us. The story of Adam and Eve teaches us a lot about choices and consequences, but also about what it means to be human, to make mistakes, to fall, and to look for ways to rebuild. Just as they hit a new life outside of Eden, we, throughout history, have sought new beginnings, new chances for correct our mistakes and of learn from the past. If the story made you reflect, know that this is just the beginning. There is still much more about Adam, Eve and their legacy that you need to discover. In the next video, we will explore deep questions like, what happened to the children of Adam and Eve? How did future generations deal with sin and death? And how does this story resonate today? Now, before we go to the next video, I want to invite you to be part of this journey with us. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any new content. Here, we always explore stories that make you think, learn and see the world in a different way. Remember, just as Adam and Eve made a decision that changed the rumor of human history, you too can make a decision now. Subscribe to the channel and continue to discover the hidden truths behind these ancient narratives. If you want to better understand how these stories from the past still influence our present and future, don't miss the next video. GT will surprise you and show you how even the smallest choices can have big consequences. Click here to watch the next video, where we delve deeper into the mystery of Adam and Eve's descendants and what happened to them after the fall. I guarantee that what you will discover is something that few know, and that could completely change the way you see this story. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. See you in the next video.